Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome once more to Skullgirls Mobile. There's a lot to cover in the 2.5 update notes, so let's start right now. First of all, defense bonus multipliers. If you find a team with characters that you deem that they are too strong or too powerful for you to fight, then there is going to be a new incentive, a multiplier. This multiplier applies plus the normal win streak multiplier. So first, if you beat that team, you get your win streak multiplier if you are playing, and then you get added the multiplier for the reward for the strong team that you just beat. Now, if you're playing as a defense team and you come back to Skullgirls Mobile, you load up the game, you see your defense team, then that bonus multiplier applies for your defense team bonus. Now, remember, defense teams doesn't add the win streak bonus, so only you will be getting this if you are having your team as a defense team. The big thing for this update is the origin story for Parasol. Remember, you need to be level 20 to participate on this one as a level player. And also, most of these fights are going to require you to have a Parasol. So you need to have like a bunch. I believe this takes up to 4 energy slots. So for every 2 fights, you need 1 Parasol. So if you want to complete them faster, you need a bunch of Parasols to fight. And also, there are the fights that require you to go one-on-one, and you always need to have a Parasol that has been developed with a lot of resources, and it must be high level if you want to beat this. Also, remember that there is the new addition of the master difficulty, but they are showing here that it only has 3 difficulties, so I don't think that this is up to date, or maybe this doesn't have a master difficulty for this origin story, which is weird, but alright, more content, and this is gonna be very good for anybody who is a fan of Parasol. There's going to be AI improvements. Yeah, they're making the AI of the game more smarter. It will try to bait you with different attacks or fakes. Also, they are increasing the behavior in which they use the blockbuster level 3, or the unblockable, as I like to call it. And this is gonna be really scary for a lot of us who participate in prize fights, because once we fight our opponent, and they being the enemy, they get a lot of blockbuster bar depending on the modifier that is applied on the fight. Most of the time, the modifier benefits the opponent. So for this one, they are increasing the rate in which they use the blockbuster. So the developers are now saying that the AI is gonna be more difficult to fight. So you will need to have characters, in which here they recommend characters that can mess up with your or counter your opponent's blockbuster usage. Characters such as No Regrets Parasol, Diva Intervention, Ivy League Parasol, Regally Blonde Parasol, Hype Man Beowulf, and Bad Miss Frosty. I can say that No Regrets and Bad Miss Frosty are good options for any player. For Diva Intervention, yes, she's really good. Regally Blonde, I don't think that she's that much consistent, but that can be fine a little bit. So everybody watch out for this. I can only confirm that the AI is better once I fight it or do a little bit of testing with them, but that's going to be when the update launches. Alright, so we're going to the profile screen. Yeah, everybody now is going to have a profile screen, which every player can check when they go to the chat. For this, you can just tap the name of the player, and then you will see their profile. Here, as you all know, when you enter the game, in the top left corner, right beside your name, is going to be like the portrait of a character. That is going to be your main character, or your top character as they call it. So you can fight that character into a duel. The duel is, I believe, that is a one-on-one fight where you use your top character and fight your opponents, but this character is controlled by the AI. This is not a 1v1 PvP fight. No, this is a PvE fight that will be using your opponent's roster. Now, they also saying that you can change your top character, so if you want to vary things around. And also it helps with people that want to learn how to fight certain characters. How? well, let's see follow up. You can also, they're saying that you can change your display name. People have been asking for this. It will cost now 500 crystals or Tionite if you want to change your name. So yeah, you have to pay if you want to do that. So think twice before writing down your name or your display name for the game. But the big thing that comes with the profiles is the fighter preview pop-up. Now if you click on a character, you will be seeing their character portrait, their signature abilities, their marquee abilities, and also what blockbusters and special moves they have equipped. This will help if you want to prepare for a fight, so you can see how developed is your opponent. And also it will be great for new players or everybody who doesn't have certain characters to just see them, touch the screen, see what they got, and if they are good enough, then they will list it down as a character that they will want in the future. So this is good. For chat reporting, for the people who use chat, now you have to, there's a report button, and also you need to explain why are you reporting the person. This is outside, but it's fine. They are doing offer tuning. So offer tuning, they're increasing or varying things out with the bundles that they offer you whenever you get a character. These, for me, some of these are getting better, but still you need to pay with real money for this, or crystals. Well, no, yes, everything is with real money. So if you want any of these offers, then you have to think that you really need to think that is it worth the money. For most of this, well, I like to reserve my money, but for many of you that really need a character immediately, then these are great for you because they are making the offers better. There's also a new offer, the Variety Pack Plus, where you get 22 characters. This costs $30 and you will be receiving 2 of each character relic. Yeah, this is, for me, this is great, but still the price is a little bit too high. Maybe if they offer anything else or additional keys or like coins maybe to make the offer better, but for me this is fine for 22 characters for $30, and you are not guaranteed a golden one. So yeah, we need to check that if it's good or not. They're also improving what it is, the fight assist. Let's remember the fight assist is where you touch the brain drain button that is in the bottom center of the screen during any fight, and then your characters will be controlled by AI. The player AI is not good, it's awful, and most of the time it will end up doing very wrong moves and end up losing a fight for you. So for me, I never use this, but they are saying that it's gonna be persistent and it will help you during daily events. Never use this for prize fight, never use this for master or hard difficulty. Only use if you want to farm easy difficulty fights or medium or normal difficult fights. There's going to be economy adjustments. They're increasing the player level to 70 and also more rewards for players who have reached the 65 or 70 level mark. You will be getting 1 of each elemental relic when you get level 65, and 1 of each relic and 1 of each elemental essence for 70 level players. Like, for this is nice. Most of us are looking for those elemental essences to get to the diamond rank, so thank you very much for this. They're changing, adding some bonuses to the elemental prize fights relic. These prize fights are really slow to get to higher scores. So if they're adding more things so people get encouraged and keep playing more, then please do so, because really I almost got burned out from the elemental prize fights of how slow you get points on that. They are changing the prices for energy refresh tuning. First of all, this cost 10 crystals, and then they changed it to 5. Now they are changing it back to 10. I don't know about this, but they are saying that they want variety teams on prize fights, or I think they want to encourage everybody to use different characters, so they are increasing the price. Still, 10 is really low, but like 5 was absurd. You can refresh and play with your character all the time. Like, for a single day, you can use the same character on any single fight if you only pay 5 crystals. Now you can pay 10. This is a little bit harder, but alright, it's still a fair price. There is chat autocorrect only for iOS, which is weird, but maybe for Android in the future. In-game adjustments and combat adjustments. Now, this is the big one. First of all, there's a small thing that you can now choose the character that will tag in after your point character dies by typing their portrait. This is great. Many people have been asking this, including me, when you want to send a different character but you end up with the wrong one. So that's nice. Here, taunt cancelling and standardization. So they are saying now that characters like Eliza, Big Bang, Painwheel, and Valentine can now cancel their taunts into blockbusters as soon as the buff is applied. This is great, makes taunts way better, and many other characters who have great buffs when they use their taunt, they make it easier and more safer. So if you got a character with a nice buff during their taunt, use this because now taunts are good, more or less. They're also preventing some infinite combos with Squiggly, which is weird. I thought all the infinites with her were changed during the patch 2.4, but it seems like no. So they're changing that. The biggest one for me of all the character changes is they are changing the markability of Cerebella. Upper hand. So upper hand no longer grants the meter that is removed from the opponents back to Cerebella. It now only reduces meter. Yes. So what is the example of this? I made an example during my Cerebella is too strong video. If you use Pommel Horse, the special move, with that single move you could reduce your opponent's meter to 0, and then you will refresh all of your blockbuster, making an infinite using Pommel Horse and Diamonds Are Forever, the move when she shoots the diamond. So now with this they're preventing that. There's no longer the semi-infinite combo with Cerebella, especially Harlequin Cerebella, which is the strongest character in the game. So yeah, they're nerfing that. Still, the markability is pretty strong because you're preventing your opponent from getting that level 3 blockbuster, or the blockbuster 3, or the unblockable one. So still, Cerebella is still a good character. Now she's not that super great because of this, but still Harlequin Cerebella will still be the best character in the game, no matter this change. They were also saying that the blockbuster 3 or Mega Leaf Array of double will now end as soon as the opponent dies. No multi-fighter kills, which is surprising to me that this was something. So yeah, this was really powerful. I'll need to check that before the update to see if it's really true that this happened. There are also big changes to Eliza. So Sekhmet can no longer stagger a character more than once per combo, like all other staggers in the game. This is a big nerf for her. She could normally, like, if you were Diva Intervention, you would stagger your opponent and then combo him with Sekhmet to get like a full regen of your life. So they will nerf Diva Intervention a lot thanks to this. Your opponent will now try to block once it's get the first combo stagger, and also they're making some of her attacks worst. For like her charge attack, which it was really bad already, now it's worse. Yeah. There are also other things, but I am not a Liza player, so I cannot really testify for all of this. Fighter specific adjustments. So Peacock Untouchable. So this is a little bit minor but really important. So when Peacock Untouchable activates unflinching, it will not only affect hits after the one that trigger her special ability instead of ignoring the first hit. So this will give chance to your opponent to block, and so most of the time that your opponent will hit you, and then you will try to tap the buttons and then counter hit your opponent using the super armor that you get from flinching, and then you will combo them to death. So now it only works as a second hit, so now you can react faster. This will make Peacock Untouchable, and well, it says here that this happened to Cerebral Armor Forces, so that makes them those two worst defense characters. Maybe the computer won't react that much, but since the computer AI is getting improvements, then Untouchable Peacock and Cerebral Armor Force is gonna get a little bit worse. But still, Unflinching is a very powerful ability, so yeah. Parasol, I believe, is getting a text change, so on tier she now gets Wither, which is the meter management debuff that she can give to her opponent, so that's pretty minor. And what is not that minor is for Painwheel Rage appropriate. Now when her health drops below 50%, she will now get the heavy regen and also 2 stacks of armor. Remember, every stack of armor is 25% armor. So now with 2 stacks she will get 50% armor, so reducing every single hit or every single bit of damage she gets on half. So that's really nice for her. They're talking about like a rage appropriate meta incoming. I don't think so, because I rarely see that character on prize fights, and also as a defense character she's not that great. I mean, she's designed as a combat character and also a defense character, but with this ability still she's not that powerful. Maybe she will get better, but for me I don't think so. The worst thing about the changes is for Philia Parasite Weave. So let's read this. Now she inflicts a slow for 10 seconds alongside stun whenever it is applied. She cannot apply another stun or slow if the opponent is already afflicted with slow. Yeah. So we wanted to remove Parasite Weave's frankly broken ability to relentlessly stun lock opponents while still ensuring stun and metas for locking down an opponent were a major part of her toolset. So when you inflict your stun and also your slow, you need to wait till the slow is over to inflict another stun. So now there's a 7-second barrier between your next slow, making the character which has the stun lock basically. You need to have to wait a lot more for that. So yeah, the character is less consistent now, very inconsistent thanks to this, because now you need that 50% chance to get that critical hit, a slow plus stun, and then wait those 7 seconds or 10 seconds until the slow is over to inflict another stun. So Parasite Weave, for me she's like the best Philia character, and with this she's a little bit worse, but I still think that Parasite Weave Philia still is going to be the best Philia variant. So yeah, this makes the character worst, but at least it makes it not like unplayable. So they're changing some things for the daily events. Most of these daily events had some modifiers that were pretty annoying. Like I remember in the Big Bang daily event on Master difficulty, you will get like characters with super unflinching armor every single time, so they are making this less consistent, so the battles are a little bit more fair. Some bug fixes. The biggest one with the blockbusters apparently is this: blockbusters no longer pause the timer when they are being used, but they will still prevent a timeout if they are activated just before the timer reaches 0. If the final opponent does not die by the time the blockbuster ends, the round will go to the opponent. Many players are concerned about this. Most players that get to like higher win streaks on prize fights, because the opponent will get a lot of health, like really lots of health, thanks to the bonus health they get for the win streak multiplier. So I don't know, this will make fights a little bit more difficult, and also fights that get really long will most likely end up with you losing thanks to this. Maybe, but we will have to see. More changes to Squiggly regarding her blockbusters. Apparently she could hit your opponent like on the floor even though they were already like on their second fall, so that's weird. Diamonds Are Forever is now getting a 5-frame startup, but they are saying that these startup frames are invincible, so it's weird. Maybe it will make the move worse, so your opponent can now block faster, so you will only use this on combo, not like out of nowhere. So yeah, Diamonds Are Forever, like they're trying to make Cerebella worst. and I feel like I am responsible for that, thanks to the video I did, and also for telling the developers. I'm sorry. Valentine's getting some changes in her blockbusters, double 2, but most of these are minor, so it's fine. And ending with this, we are going to see what is coming soon. So there's going to be a new friend list, yay! So you can now select players and then challenge them to a duel if you want. It's weird that the duel feature is coming first and the friend list second, so it's really weird for me. But alright, maybe they have to figure out some stuff before implementing this. Also, there's going to be a 1v1 asynchronous competitive mode. So this is basically you create your own map with your own nodes, which is pretty cool. I don't know how competitive this is going to be, like it's weird. But I like that you can now create your own maps and then send them to other people so they can beat it. It's good, but I think they need to flesh out what the rewards are going to be, or what is the purpose of this, what's the end goal for this mode. There's also going to be guild-based content. Yes, finally guilds. People has been asking for this. A lot of people want to make groups, a lot of people want to play together. Maybe something like a goal for these groups. I'm still waiting to see what they come up with, but this is great for the game and for the player base. And also, for those who already don't know, Miss Fortune is going to be the next character, but we will need to wait for details on her. And also, her name is Nadia. I never pay attention to what her real name was, so it's Nadia Fortune apparently. But that's all for now. This is wrapping up the 2.5 update notes. I hope you and everybody who sees this enjoy this. There are a lot of changes, making characters, adjusting center characters to be more fair, a little bit worse, a little bit less consistent. But we all know that they're trying to make the game better. We're getting new features, and most of everything is the Parasol Origin Stories, which is going to be great. I'm highly anticipating this, so I want to play it as soon as the update drops. So I want to know what do you think about this? What do you think about the new changes? You can write it down in the comments, and we'll gladly read it and maybe respond for any questions that you have. So that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Drexo, and until again next time, see ya.